Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Could you state your name for the camera?
My name's Ashley Legassi. I'm from Manchester, Connecticut, and I'm 35 years old. I grew up going to church. I'm not going to say their name, but it was a full gospel type church that believed in taking the Word of God, basically verbatim and out of context. So I was born into that. I believe it gave me a really strong foundation of how to treat others. But as I approached my teens, I started to see that things, as far as church politics and everything were going, just seemed a little bit off to me. A turning point for me would be I was 16 years old, and my very best friend, who was a year older than me, she had made a decision that she did not want to attend church anymore. And then I was told that I was to not speak to her anymore, not only by my mom, by her parents. And then I was called into the church office, and I was told to not be friends with her anymore. So at that point, I realized that maybe what I was doing was not in my best interest. And I started to really evaluate my personal relationship with God, and if I was actually worshiping for my relationship with God, or out of fear of the church and the leaders of the church coming against me. Then I, really started considering leaving, but it was something that took a lot of courage, that took, months of me building up the courage to actually, not go. I was terrified because my whole life was controlled since I was a small child. There was no part of my life that was not affected by the church. So I was 17, so it was a good year. It was the summer of my senior year when I stopped going, and I started wearing pants and shorts, and I got my ears pierced, and I did all these horrible things that were going to send me straight to hell. And I started living, and I started having friends, and I ended up going away to a wonderful college on the North Shore of Boston. I started going to a different church. I went around, I tried probably a dozen different churches before I found the church that I really loved, which is similar in a lot of the good ways, but not in the ways where they control your life. I'm happy for the things that I've gone through. I'm happy that, because at the end of the day, it made me a stronger person. And, if I came out on the other side and I'm a stronger person for the struggles that I've gone through, maybe I can help somebody else avoid some type of pain. And, and God, gave me the strength to persevere through, what I did. I don't want to say I'm fearless, but, I go ahead, world, throw whatever you want at me, because you haven't taken me down yet. So even in the, the low parts of my life, the nights that I slept alone in my car, crying and, just praying to God, how am I going to get out of this? I just always had this perfect peace, this assurance that things would get better. And where I didn't have the strength, that somehow that faith that I did have would carry me through.